I'm Tomoaki Aoki. I'm a Japanese GeneXus analyst. I came from behind the earth. That is not an easy thing, isn't it? It took 36 hours. Too long time for come here. First of all, let me explain why I'm standing here. Okay? By the way, I'm not good at English, and Spanish is more useless. But I'll do my best. Please listen in English, okay? I came here on behalf of the GeneXus User Group Japan. I hear that it has GeneXus User Group in Uruguay. Do you know GeneXus User Group in Japan? I'd like to introduce GeneXus User Group Japan a little. GeneXus User Group Japan, GUGJ, was established in 2012. Now, about 100 GeneXus users joined. They tried sharing good way to apply GeneXus, and GUGJ became hot community for GeneXus users. GeneXus Japan supports the operation of GUGJ from established. There are activity of GUGJ. Group study by GeneXus engineer, holding seminar to share GeneXus information and discuss some topics. I show you some picture by activities. This is a seminar held by GUGJ. About 100 people joined. In Japan, GUGJ became good community for GeneXus user. GeneXus SA has supported already. We really appreciate it. Please keep supporting us forever after. This is a photos of sharing ideas by 1 year's group study. The group studied each topics such as SDG, external systems, work with plus, and so on. Once a year, they get together and share each study. I was a group leader of GX teaching team. This is event for discussion organized by GX teaching team. The topic was how to teach GeneXus for new member. Each participant gave opinion by each side. This is me. This time, it was decided to dispatch to this meeting, GX27, from the group study by GeneXus engineer. And selection was done. As a result, I was chosen. The presentation at the time of this picture may have contributed to it. Coming here is one of my dreams. So I am very happy now. And I'm very nervous now. Therefore, I am grateful to GeneXus Japan and GUGJ for standing here. By the way, I have been engaged in the work of GeneXus all the time. It's been 5 years. This is a rare case in Japan. I believe that GeneXus has the power to change the Japanese system industry. But I noticed there is a case that GeneXus is not used well in Japan. And that the cause is Japanese own problem, Japanese unique problem. In order to draw out the merit of GeneXus, I felt that current education is necessary. I studied the education method as a research theme at the GUGJ. This is the theme of my presentation this time. Okay? It may be difficult to talk this suddenly. Therefore, I will talk about Japanese people problems. First, it is about the nature of Japanese. Japanese like to line up in row. Japanese are side by side. Japanese will do it as soon as saying Mr. Aoki was doing. Japanese buy it as soon as saying I was also buy it. In short, the Japanese do what others do. And I can express the character of such Japanese by photos. What's the picture? This is a ramen shop, Japanese traditional noodle ramen shop. One person line up, everyone line up. This is McDonald's in Japan. One person line up, everyone line up. This is some online games. One person line up, everyone line up. Japanese line up everywhere and every time. They are often called polite. However, it is different. The Japanese only do what others do. Okay. Well, let's move on the main themes. I think that GeneXus is suitable for new development, agile development, and in-house production. However, the current state of development of mission-critical business systems in Japan is like this form. It's become like when compared with other countries. Region Japan, development area, rebuilding of existing systems. Development method, waterfall type. Design method, screen, and DB are separately. GeneXus is not much well, I think. Okay. Of course, this is not all development. That means it is such a trend in Japan. Okay. Region Uruguay, South America, Europe, and the US. Development area, new development, scratch and build. Development method, agile type. Development method, UOA. UOA is a new word to be explained later, okay? GeneXus is match. In other words, it can be said that GeneXus has become difficult to be widely used in Japan. And in Japan, it is difficult to change this. In order to make GeneXus more widely used in system development in Japan, I thought that extending the service-centered design method of GeneXus, it is UOA. This is ineffective. UOA is a new word and new design style, and it's based on a service design type. Okay? In short, the end user is to design the program. Screen design and process design are done from the perspective of the end users. It's done by GeneXus, using GeneXus for design. And it's done by transaction object. Okay, this is an example for understanding difference in design method. Of course, this is not all development. That means it is such a trend in Japan, I say again. Okay. In Japan, first, we are prototyping using web panel. And we don't design database, the table, view, and some triggers, and some functions. Because database is existing and not needed to rebuild. So screen and database isn't much. And we develop procedure object for linking screen and databases. This is a loss. Okay. Using a transaction is best practice, like other side. It's good that screen is prototyping by transaction object. DB is developed by transaction object. Procedure objects are used only for defining business logic. In order to solve this situation, it is necessary to maximize the effect by making development method, design method, the most suitable for GeneXus. In other words, we think that we need to approach new development method and design method. Sorry. Okay. First, design method to be adopted in Japanese GeneXus development. The design method emphasize the viewpoint of the user rather than the provider of the service. I think that it is necessary to switch to UOA using GeneXus. And I think it is necessary to transaction object is very important. And prototyping from the design using transaction object. Okay. Next, development method to be adapted in Japanese GeneXus development. I think that it is appropriate to start with a hybrid development method that also makes use of waterfall type, not only agile, okay? Because it is difficult to choose between waterfall, agile, and agile type. Development methods are broadly defined in various development rules. It takes time to change regulation, change development systems and process controls, and so on. Instead of aiming for 100% changes, we need change that make use of our knowledge of waterfall design, waterfall method. Next, developer to be adapted in Japanese GeneXus development. I think that it is better to make it from outsource completely to semi-in-house production. Utilize outsourcing, part of outsourcing. Okay. It is because the Japanese system development industry has been tightened. Because of the multiple subcontraction structure of the Japanese system industry, in system manufacture is one way to change its structure. I think you thought that why is Japanese development of GeneXus not changing this way? Okay. There are several factors, but I would like to focus on the two reasons this time. Engineer with the technology of GeneXus analyst often do not have the right to decide how to proceed and important specification. All of the people involved in the project sometimes have no knowledge of GeneXus. As a result of this, I feel that it is often the case that cannot make full use of GeneXus. Development method and design method not suited to GeneXus is often. I think that it is necessary to have a new education communicate the goodness and the concept of GeneXus through UOA education and explore development methods suitable for GeneXus. At least there is not this education in Japan because the mainstream of current education in GeneXus development is limited to 4 programmer, 4 system engineer is only. We have to tell UOA and the development method that make use of GeneXus to all members involved in your project, especially. It is a point to target system users, project managers, salesperson. It is not engineer with the technology of GeneXus. I think new education have to define 3 steps. Step 1, understand the concept of GeneXus and recognize how to make use of it. By all the project members understand the concept of GeneXus and denial of things like being in Japanese ancient development style. Okay. We will learn that we need another design method and another development method to make use of GeneXus. Step 2, understanding UOA to make good use of GeneXus. I think the design method that make use of GeneXus can proceed with development based on user view. By understanding UOA of thinking, we will learn that the design method has changed and that finally, we need to change the development method. Data model and screen and processes should not be separated. Final step, develop to make use of GeneXus. By increasing the development that makes use of GeneXus, the development method and technology should change to be a higher level. Japan is a country of side-by-side principle. The possibility of adoption will increase by increasing cases. Also, this design method is more suitable for end users who know business more often than system specialists. In other words, expanding such a method increases opportunity for in-system production. In short, Japanese lineup for GeneXus. Okay, I'd like to accomplish know-how based on the domestic case of GeneXus and share information through user meeting. And I would like to brush up in Japan and spread it widely. As an activity of the GeneXus User Group Japan, I'd like to promote this in cooperation with GeneXus Japan. Enhance of education, Japanese language menu, 2-point arrangement and practice of UOA design method. Okay, establish of development methodology, collection and research of cases. We need to gather and research cases by design method, development method, application area. We need an example of changing the design method and development method, hybrid type, agile. We need example. And case studies utilized in reconstruction, partial reconstruction, new development. We need example. I have to say to Japanese people, everyone use GeneXus well. And proposal of training program for GeneXus. I hope to new design method and development method established in Japan. And finally, proposal of training program for GeneXus SA. And this is a website because of programmer, system engineer, rather than salesperson and people in posts, such as project manager, project leader, learn the merit of GeneXus. It is contents to convey design method and development method suitable for it. This is a sample image. We already built this site. GeneXus for busy people. We will, but now it is preparing. We will open this site again. Finally, 勢力全容、自他共栄. This is a Japanese word, kanji. Do you know kanji? Okay. It means that strengthen the power of myself and use that power for good things. Don't think, sorry. Okay. Don't think improve on only myself. If we want to gain a profit, be sure to make profit from others. I will do my best to make a profit in Japan. This is not only for my own profit, but for all Japanese GeneXus users. And this is also for everyone around the world. Okay? By doing our best in Japan, we will also benefit around the world. I think it is meaningful for everyone. I would like to brush up the solution I have prepared in Japan and finally make it contribute to around the world. Thank you for listening. Gracias.